6:48 right now, time for the morning rush. Residents in two northwest Albuquerque neighborhoods are on edge this morning after vandals shot up dozens of cars over the weekend. The Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office says that more than 28 cars were shot at early Saturday morning in Ventana Ranch and Paradise Hills. BCSO believes that the suspect or suspects were driving a white or silver sedan. They ask that anyone who recognizes the car to make a report. An Albuquerque man is facing charges after police caught up to him during a street racing operation over the weekend. APD says aerial footage shows 26-year-old Jacoby Carrillo's orange Challenger racing through the metro on Friday night. APD reportedly clocked him driving at 120 miles per hour on I-25. Officers eventually arrested him for reckless driving, among other charges. A man charged with attempted murder for shooting at police in southwest New Mexico is scheduled to face a judge. Police pulled over Ruben de la O in downtown Silver City on August of 2021. That was after an officer says he ran his plate and saw that he had no insurance. That's when the officers say that de la O opened fire. He was eventually arrested and is scheduled to be in court this morning. Zoe.
We're looking at more near to record-breaking heat across the state today. Many locations like Carlsbad, Deming, TRC, Grants, Gallup, Farmington, and even up to Santa Fe expected to break a record high temperature for today for November 6th. This heat is going to stick around through the midweek before a big cool down arrives to end off the week ahead of us.
Well, this morning, Clovis police continued to investigate a fatal weekend crash involving a motorcycle. Police were sent to the scene near Wheaton and Madison around 6:15 on Saturday evening. And when officers arrived, they say that they found a white SUV stopped and a motorcycle laying on its side. Police say the motorcyclist, identified as 42-year-old Shanta Hall, was ejected from the bike and died on scene. An Albuquerque man is accused of swapping seats with an underage teen. That was after being pulled over on suspicion of drunk driving. According to a criminal complaint, the driver, 24-year-old Michael Tenorio, swapped seats with a minor who was a passenger in the vehicle during the traffic stop. Police say that they could smell alcohol on Tenorio's breath. He was then booked into MDC and is facing several charges. An historic New Mexico cemetery has some new decor. That's in anticipation of Veterans Day. Volunteers from the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the American Legion, as well as Albuquerque Boy and Girl Scouts, they placed American flags on soldiers' graves throughout the Fairview Cemetery. A wreath was also placed on the restored monument, paying tribute to the unknown dead. Zoe.
Our Metro Threat Index for today is at a 2, could be at a 1 because there's not all too much to worry about besides the very dry and sunny conditions. Near to record-breaking high temperatures, not necessarily worrying about heat advisories or any of that, but don't forget to grab the sunglasses as you step out the door today.
The dogs and their owners, they came together for the state's largest pet party over the weekend. That event celebrated Animal Humane's 41st Doggie Dash and Dawdle, all while raising money for the nonprofit. People who attended the event, they were able to do a 5K run or 1-mile walk with their furry friends. A medical center whose mission has been to help others with their financial problems is now asking for help of their own. This year alone, the La Familia Medical Center is expecting to help out close to 16,000 Santa Fe residents. But now the center itself is close to running out of operational funds. So far, the GoFundMe pages that was created 2 weeks ago has already raised about $18,000. But still has a way to go to their goal of $1 million. Zoe.
Now let's get a look at that morning drive. Maps are nice and clear. Really no major accidents or slowdowns to talk about as Tracker is headed south on I-25 near the Big I, looking at a beautiful sunrise to kick off the morning.
Well, that one chore that you were always nagged to do as a kid could actually snag you a gem of a prize to do it again. The Shane Company of Fine Jewelers is offering someone $1,000 to make their bed every day for a month and explain its effect on their life. December the 8th is the deadline for the contest entries.
Time now for the 5 facts. At number 5, dogs and their owners came together for the state's largest pet party over the weekend. The event celebrated Animal Humane's 41st Doggie Dash and Dawdle, all while raising money for the nonprofit. Event organizers say it's the thousands of committed pet owners like this that help dog-friendly communities thrive in our state. People who attended the event were able to do a 5K run or a 1-mile walk with their furry friends. Overall, the goal was to raise $200,000 for New Mexico pups in need.
At number 4, an historic New Mexico cemetery has some new decor this morning. That's in anticipation of Veterans Day. Now, volunteers from the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the American Legion, as well as Albuquerque Boy and Girl Scouts, they came together. That was to place American flags on soldiers' graves throughout the Fairview Cemetery. That serves as the final resting place for soldiers of historic wars, including the Mexican-American War, the Civil War, and both World Wars. A wreath was also placed on the restored monument paying tribute to the unknown dead. Veterans Day is this Saturday, November the 11th.
And at number 3, we're looking at another warm one today, and in fact, it's going to be warmer than yesterday. If you can believe it, near to record-breaking heat is expected across the state. Many places like Carlsbad, Deming, TRC, all the way up to Farmington and Santa Fe expected to break their record highs for the day, but get ready for below average temperatures by the end of the work week ahead of us.
At number 2, an Albuquerque man is facing charges this morning. This comes after police caught up to him during a street racing operation over the weekend. APD says aerial footage shows 26-year-old Jacoby Carrillo's orange Challenger racing through the metro on Friday night. APD followed Carrillo in their helicopter for nearly half an hour, at one point reportedly clocking him at 120 miles per hour on I-25. Police say that Carrillo ran out of gas near 51st and Quail and then tried to take off on foot. Officers eventually caught up to him, arresting him for reckless driving, among other charges. And at number 1, residents in 2 Albuquerque Northwest neighborhoods, they are on edge this morning after police say the vandals shot up dozens of cars over the weekend. The Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office says more than 28 cars were shot at. That was early Saturday morning in Ventana Ranch and Paradise Hills. The vandals leaving behind an estimated $17,000 in damages.